People are being, I'm seeing 10x, 100x, whatever. I think we're going to melt faces. I think really good things are coming, and it's going to surprise a lot of people.
Rounding off some of our midterm distant, I guess, future stuff with PulseChain here. So there's been a lot of things, and I posted a poll about this on the YouTube channel the other day, which I can look at here in a moment. But what would be, Ewok, your conservative to aggressive target for amount of X's that you could see? First off, where do you think PulseChain and PulseX will start at in relation to sacrifice price for people, knowing that the launch literally is imminent now, not just people saying it's imminent. So where do you think it launches at, and an amount of X's for each one of those? Which one do you think performs better over I'm just talking the course of this cycle. So for spitballing it, we'll say by the end of 2025, assuming that we're kind of starting to complete or get to the top. I know you kind of disagree with me on the timing on this, but of the next bull market, what do you think are the conservative and aggressive estimates for the amount of X's each one of those could do here?
I think it's going to really surprise people. I think we're going to do far more than what people expected. I don't know if you caught the tweet or not from Richard today about how you can set the rewards from the validators to a burn address.
Yeah, I did see it.
People kind of didn't really talk a whole lot about that, but what if the OA, who will probably have several, if not hundreds of validators running to support the network, turn around and burn all of their rewards? That is super bullish. I mean, it's going to burn probably 60% of the rewards, making it pretty deflationary. I think, people are being, I'm seeing 10x, 100x, whatever. I think we're going to melt faces. I think really good things are coming, and it's going to surprise a lot of people. Yes, we're going to have some major sell-offs, but I don't think they're going to last long. If you look at the HEX chart and what it did, how many 60, 70% pullbacks there were along the way, and it still did a 10,000x. I think you're going to see something very similar with PulseChain and PulseX, both of them, because they have such game theory built into them, especially with PulseX having the buy and burn, and now PulseChain having the validators that are just burning coins left and right. It's super bullish. I don't think people are prepared for what's about to happen. They're being super conservative. I'm seeing 10x, 100x, maybe. As far as launch, I have no idea. I really don't even know what to expect for launch, but I don't see it sitting there very long at all. Maybe dipping around there for a couple weeks until we find a floor, and then taking off. I just, we're in for something pretty cool, and I think people need to get ready for it.
I think you're right about that. Now, I will say I haven't seen too many people saying just 10x. I mean, maybe I would think you are too, but I was going to say maybe I'm kind of in the hexagon echo chamber or something. But yeah, 10x would certainly be a disappointment. I mean, like,
Well, very.
We're looking, I think, conservatively thinking that Hex itself will do a 30x. So yeah, PulseChain doing anything less than that obviously would be shocking. But yeah, I would think well over 100x for likely both of them. But
I'm talking thousands. I'm talking thousands of X's.
I figured you were. Yeah, I figured you were. And let me ask you that, because what I wanted to ask you is I personally don't see I mean, I do see people calling for thousands of X's on both of them, frankly. Now, maybe I'm just in that hexagon echo chamber or something like that. But I guess, like, where do you feel like you're seeing the sentiment that people, not that, multiple hundreds of X's is anything to sneeze at. I mean, that's ridiculous, obviously. But you lived through obviously day one. I mean, you were in the t-shirt, I think tonight, Hex OG. So, I mean, you lived through day one of that. There you go. And, saw the 10,000X. So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where like, even though there's like Hex cheerleaders out there, and I'm not saying that like just women, I just mean like everybody out there that are
Sure.
just PulseChain is going to be amazing. Yeah, okay, yeah, we know that. That's cool. But I mean, there's lots of jumping up and down and people like getting uber stoked. But like, I'm always one to like temper expectations. But talk about that, like how even though those numbers seem crazy and people just will throw like, oh yeah, 10,000X around like it's nothing, that really could be possible for these being
Yeah.
Richard Hart creations in the way that he actually built these things.
Well, and that's the way he designs a lot of things. I think Ethereum did a 14,000x in the first few years from its launch price. So he models a lot of these things after what has already happened and designs them with better game theory, better proponents that make the price go up, because he knows as well as we do, price is the only thing people care about. And honestly, that's the way it is with most of these. So they're designed with that in mind specifically. So, when when he said Hex was designed to do a 10,000x in under 2.5 years, and it did it in just over two, um, now it's a no-brainer. Now
Mhm.
everyone, unfortunately, though, expects it from
Yeah,
every coin, not
right.
just Richard Hart stuff, but they think it's going to happen with Pepe. They think it's going to happen with
Well, it did
Ben.
happen with Pepe. How dare
Well,
you say that?
right, but they think it's a given with all these coins, and just knowing that the bull market is getting close, and people are really getting anxious. That's what kind of fed into all these other hype of some of these other coins right now. It's not a normal thing, and for them to get back to that level, they once they pull back, that's going to be the real test of time. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. Do you want to? I don't know if you wanted to stop sharing your screen there so we could see our the hex chart. Unless you want to leave it up. I mean, we're seeing some epic green candles right now, but I think people also love our faces too. So
you
whatever you want to
think?
do. Whatever you want to do. If you want to leave it up, I mean, it's a pretty epic night. So, but yeah, I am with you. I mean, like, it's one of those things where you do see people throw around those crazy X's numbers all the time, but it's like there's a reason they do it in this community because they've actually seen that before, and they've seen the follow through, obviously, from Richard. And, I know we say it all the time, but like really community is the biggest thing in crypto. Like,
Sure is.
and that's what people that are not in this market yet or not fully into this market just do not understand, and I get why. I mean, legacy finance, you're not talking about like those boys over at General Motors, just they all really, I mean, it's not going to be like that in legacy finance, but that's what it is in crypto. And, that's something you learn in this market. So,
Yep.
HEXPassiveIncome.com. My friend Crypto Coffee has created what I think is probably the best course for a new cryptocurrency investor. Not only that, but these courses usually charge an arm and a leg. Crypto Coffee is only charging $200. I think right now he actually has a discount for $150. I have a link below in the description. If you are new to crypto, do not understand Hex and how it works, click the link below. It's a quick, easy course. He only gives you the basics. I personally, myself, have thought about creating an intro to crypto course in the past. I don't think there's any reason to do so because Matt, Crypto Coffee, has already taken care of that. And I don't think anything needs to be added by anybody else. So check it out. The link is in the description and sign up to Hex Passive Income today.